Breathe, they continue to tell on themselves. Shalom. First and foremost, giving all praises, honor, glory, respect, and blessings to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem Rachakwadash. Salutations to the Lord's elect on the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth and sincerity while patiently waiting for Yahweh Shai's return. And double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, which have taught us everything we know through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai. This is going to be a short video going into a video which was basically uploaded by the brother Amawan Ibad. And basically in this video, this video basically shows you the agenda of the so-called elites. Okay, this very cartoon right here shows you what they have in mind or in store for the general public. And from time to time again, the so-called elites, because whether you people out there believe it or not, the so-called elites, they control the mainstream media. Okay? They control the mainstream media. They control what you see on your TV screen. They control what is shown in these cartoons. They control what you see in these movies. They control what you hear on your radio stations, whether if it's music, whether if it's the news. They control what you read about in your newspapers. They control all aspects of the media. And this is a part of, their power. They use TV, cartoons, movies, and music to bewitch the people, to control their thoughts, their thought patterns, how they should think, what they should do when they wake up for the time they go to bed. And ultimately, that is what their ultimate goal is. They want to control all aspects of people's lives. They want full control of your soul. That's why, I look at the 2/3 of our people, and the first thing that comes to my mind is, you effing simpletons, you out here killing each other over money, over personal reputation, you're killing each other over blocks, over colors. And that's what the so-called elites want you to do. They've programmed you to do that through what? Through the music, through the movies. Okay? It's called a negative influence. And now they want to influence people to be obedient slaves. Rather, if they force you to do so through torture, through targeting your family, or rather if they do it, or rather if they have you willfully do it through movie stars, your favorite R&B stars, your favorite rap stars, your favorite hip hop stars, your favorite rock stars, your favorite country stars, your favorite basketball stars. They intend on making people who survived the nuclear holocaust as slaves. Okay? And that's what their ultimate goal is. Now, if you're a brother who has woken up to this truth you should really be thanking Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah for waking you up to this truth. Because if you would have never woke up to this truth, you probably would be in college right now trying to be the next biggest movie star, the next biggest basketball star, the next biggest whatever, trying to shoot up to the top, being trapped in this illusion of this false American dream that don't even exist. Or you might be some low life hanging around the block, smoking weed, selling drugs, getting tattoos, by being influenced by rap stars and movie stars, country stars, rock stars, being influenced by movies, by the music you hear, being influenced by cartoons. So, it is rather a blessing that you have woken up to this truth. You probably would have ended up taking the V as well if you would have never woken up to this truth. A lot of our people is going to be manipulated into taking the chip because of things like this. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 64, verse 8. So shall they make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All they that see them shall flee away. And that's what we're seeing here, okay? They've made their own tongues to fall upon themselves, You see, when this cartoon first came out, everybody thought that it was just a cartoon, It was something entertaining to watch. Ha ha ha, accentate the people to sterilize the workshop and who in their right mind would try to control the world and the bankers control the hospitals and blase. When this cartoon first came out, people had no idea that they were showing the people their secret agenda. Why? Because to the general public, this was just a cartoon. People would have never actually suspected that this was a agenda in plain sight. This is what you would call the truth being in plain sight, or the truth being hidden in plain sight. People had no idea that this cartoon was an actual agenda that was in work. It was a agenda in work around that time. And little did they know, the bankers literally did have control of the entire world around this time. Especially since the fall of the Tsar Empire. Okay. After that, the bankers just started gaining control of the world. And they don't just control hospitals. I'm talking about the so-called banking elites. They don't just control hospitals. They control everything. They control how much money you make from your job. They control, how much rent people should pay. They control the taxes. They control the media. They control these different amusement parks. They control everything. The college systems, the education system, they control everything. But you see, one thing the so-called elites underestimated was the power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Because they was not expecting Abba Bivens, who we believe to be Elijah the prophet, of whom the Lord said he would send in the last days before the dreadful coming day of the Lord. They was not expecting Abba Bivens to wake up. They was not expecting Abba Bivens to wake up other men to the truth, to the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. They was not expecting, High Priest Ariel to wake up. They was not expecting King Masha, to wake up and to come into his lot. They was not expecting, Elder Yaquab to wake up. They was not expecting Apostle Tahar to wake up. Well, he was known as Elder Tahar or just Tahar when he first woke up to the truth, but they was not expecting, Apostle Tahar or Apostle Gabar or Apostle Ariamla or Apostle Racha or Apostle Sakaran, Elder Sakaran or, Apostle Manatazak. They was not expecting those men to wake up. They was not expecting those men to wake up other men who would be of the elect around the globe. They was not expecting this. They was not expecting, other people outside the truth to dig deep into these and into Illuminati research, and to expose their agenda. They was not expecting that. They was expecting for everybody to remain asleep and to follow what they see and hear on TV, or to follow what they hear on the radio. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 12, verse 26. And if Satan, let me start at verse 25. Matthew's 12 and 25. And Yahushua knew their thoughts and said unto them, every kingdom that divided against itself is brought to desolation, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. And if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. Now, when it says Satan, this is ultimately talking about the so-called elites, because our main adversary, are so-called white people, which are the biblical Edomites of the Holy Scriptures, but amongst the Edomites, or may I say, amongst the descendants of Esau, the Amalekites, which are the fake Jews in the land of Israel, and the so-called elites, they are descendants of Esau. And anybody who is a Amalekite is a descendant of Esau. Okay? And ultimately, our main adversary on this planet is the so-called elites, because they're the ones who are trying to control all aspects of life on the left-hand side in wickedness. They're our main enemy. The average six-pack Joe driving a trailer truck and drinking Budweiser, he's our enemy. Now I'm talking about these average six-pack Joe Edomites, rather men or women, which are the so-called white people. They are our enemy, but our main enemy is really the so-called elites, because they're the ones who rule the world today through their banking system. They're the ones who will ultimately try and enforce the RFID chip, which is the mark of the beast. Okay, so if Satan cast out Satan, if these so-called elites are divided against themselves, how shall their kingdom stand? Okay, because ultimately that's what's going on here. You even got Edomites who are digging deep into these different agendas of the so-called elites that are exposing them. Well, that's Satan casting out himself, man. Okay, the Lord is making their tongue to fall upon themselves. Okay, so if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. And if a kingdom is divided against itself, it shall not stand. With that, I'm going to say, Shalom is on to the next one.